we need to talk about believe the victim. That sentence right there is a problem. And it's not a problem because we shouldn't believe victims, right? That's not the case. The problem is that if we compare this to religion and I say, believe in God, I say, I think there's a God. You can't just start at believing the claim fully. You start at taking it seriously. I think the better way to frame it will be don't disbelieve the victim. If somebody comes to you and makes a report, makes a claim, you don't disbelieve it. You don't say, that didn't happen. No, what you do is you make sure that the facts are correct. Let's say the authorities, right? If the authorities, the police, start with believing a claim, fully believing every single word of that claim, the case is closed. There's nothing else to do there because they believed it. When they don't disbelieve the claim, that's when you can start from a neutral standpoint and investigate the claim. Taking the case of a claim made to the police, they will have to investigate it to make sure that this claim is correct or that the facts line up. And that's not to discount the victim. That's not what is happening here. The reason that's done is because you need to be able to accurately punish the person that committed whatever act that the victim is accusing them of. Think about situations where the victim is incapacitated, is too intoxicated, or has been drugged. They may not remember the details of the incident at all. They may only be able to express that something happened to them. Now, if we go with believe the victim, we don't really have too much to go by. All we can believe is like, well, something happened and that's that. This is where don't disbelieve the victim is much more useful. You can start from a neutral standpoint and piece the incident together. Sometimes it may turn out that it was something completely innocent. Sometimes it may be something horrifying, or it may lead to a completely unexpected outcome. Now, what the police did correctly was they didn't disbelieve the person, whichever way the evidence led. That's where it has to go. It doesn't matter which way it goes. Sometimes we don't like the outcome of what the investigations show, right? Sometimes we are like, well, no, I really think that something did happen because reasons. That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. Now, again, we can go back to the religion situation, right? If I claim that there is a God that I believe in, you don't necessarily have to absolutely disbelieve it immediately. So what you don't do is you don't disbelieve me. You investigate it. Whatever outcome you reach, you can believe that. You can use that because we have ways of determining what is fact, what is fiction, what may be created by people because of their past traumas. Let me give you an even better example. I have trauma around large dogs. Whenever any kind of large dog runs at me, it doesn't matter whether that dog is running with the tail wagging, it's coming to attack me. Now, if I say a dog tried to attack me, we can agree that my perception of that was that the dog was coming to attack me. You don't have to believe that the dog attacked me, or you don't have to believe that the dog meant to attack me. Let's say there was some video footage of the dog running up, and you can objectively see in the footage that the dog was wagging his tail and just very happily running toward me because he was super excited, and I ran the fuck off because I was scared because that was my perception of the situation. As I said, we should we should start using that terminology of not disbelieving victims. I find it really problematic that when we have a woman making a claim, making an accusation, they are immediately believed and never questioned. And obviously, you shouldn't be the one questioning someone, right? Like if the facts begin to show up, and then you start thinking, oh wait, actually, like that changes the story. It is a problem for me when the claims come from a man. It seems to me that people don't believe or actually disbelieve men when they report being assaulted, when they report being abused, when they report being taken advantage of. We always take it as, oh, that's not possible. Well, like, what kind of guy would let a woman take advantage of him? Or, yeah, sure, he really wanted it. It is literally victim blaming big down to men. If you have a woman, for example, that gets a man drunk enough who earlier in the night said no and turned things down, but she gets him drunk enough so that later in the night he's not able to use his reasoning skills, his critical thinking, or what he would normally do if he wasn't so drunk. That's a problem. That's abuse. That's taking advantage of someone. It doesn't matter the gender of the person. We need to start taking not disbelieving victims more seriously across the board for all genders, for all people, and stop using the harmful, fully believe all claims without questioning, because that is harming way too many people. We know for a fact that women make up the vast majority of gender violence victims. That is not in question here. But when we use terms like believe woman or believe the victim, we often focus on women only. We are doing a disservice to LGBTQ folks and men who are victims of domestic abuse, sexual assault, or other types of abuse. We also seem to forget that women are human beings who are capable of doing harm and even lying in really major ways. I feel like in our quest for equality, we have taken things way too far. If a man behaves in a predatory way, it's seen as predatory. If a woman behaves in the exact same way, is seen as, oh, like she's just expressing her sexuality, and it is celebrated and it is elevated, and that's just not right. So this isn't my typical format of video. This is a more laid back, random, completely unprepared rant for the day for something that I had been thinking about. So let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts. Do you agree? Did you disagree? Am I doing a disservice to people? See you next time.